Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are, chapter 14. And chapter 14, we're going to talk about how residual income helped me. So just a brief recap on what residual income, in chapter 5 of the book, I discussed that, musicians get paid they get royalties, right? So that is residual income. So they make a song, they license it, whatever, they get out there, and every time it plays, they make money, right? They don't have to play it each time to make money. So you hear it on the radio, it can be on the radio at 30 different stations at the same time, and they're making money 30 different times. They don't have to perform that song over and over and over and over again each time in order to get paid. So basically, recap of residual income. If you don't know what it is yet, it's basically, the best way I can describe it is that you get paid multiple times for doing it once. And so that's why I believe so much in residual income, because it really gives you that freedom, and it can really put you in a position to build yourself and get back with your family and start doing what it is that you want to do, not necessarily things that you have to do in order to survive. So I just want to go over a couple stories. Obviously, we've already talked about the shutdown. The shutdown was the story where I had my client couldn't close on the home because he was a federal employee. Couldn't close the deal, and my residual income from another country came in and helped me out with a mortgage that month. This next one is, I'm actually going to save this. It goes in order, but I'm going to save this one because this one has a little bit more meaning to me, and it's a little bit more personal. But obviously, right now, as this is being recorded, we're in COVID. People are battling. Some restrictions have eased up a little bit. But as I mentioned in a previous chapter, I told you that I decided to diversify myself and partner with agents from across the country, and obviously in Canada. And when COVID hit, every market was doing something different, right? So some places hardly were affected at all. Other places you couldn't even show a home at all. Like, you couldn't do anything. Some places you could do a little bit of whatever. But again, if I would have kept myself only to this market, I would have to be at the mercy of the Las Vegas market. But I wasn't. So I was able to produce income in other states and countries that had more lax views, and that really helped, again, contributing to the mortgage when maybe at one point maybe I didn't have a deal going on, right? But the story that I really want to share with you in this as why it was such a big deal to me. So on October 29th, 2019, I dropped my son off at school. So he's in the first grade, 7 years old. Dropped him off at school, and I always kind of wait next to the fence. So we drop him off, the fence opens, the gate opens, all the kids go running in. He ran out there, and he got maybe 90 to 100 feet. The reason I say 90 feet is because he was about a base away from me when he turned around. And I usually watch him all the way instead of leaving, and because he had to go all the way to where he's got a dot that he's got to go set his backpack next to, and it's his number where his class lines up. And so he got about 90 to 100 feet out there, and he turns around and he just goes like this, and like, hold on, I gotta tell you something. And he comes back, and he tells me, I can't do it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Tears just rolling down his eyes. I don't want to go. I can't go. I'm like, wait, what's happening? It was like this. Instantly, he didn't want to go. So we battled that. He made it to 3 days of school after that for the next 4 months, and he couldn't go. Like, he was terrified to go to school. Once he was at school, he was okay, but he was battling anxiety, and that anxiety, it was anticipatory. So like the build up to get him to school was a whole like he's getting on a ride. The best way I can describe it for myself is that if you were to tell me that I was going skydiving and we're in the car driving there, I would get super nervous, like freaking out. I'd probably love it once I was jump out of the plane. Probably love it and it'd be fine. But the build up to it would just drive me insane. I already know this. But it was happening to him on a much lower scale. In terms of skydiving or going into school, but it was just as terrifying to him. And as we went through this, obviously I had, mom was at work, and I had to take my daughter to school, and then I would sit with him sometimes up to 2, 3, 5 hours in the office waiting for him to go to school. I brought my computer to work. I was doing deals in the elementary school office. I was, but as you can imagine, with me having to stay home all day with him, with nothing else to occupy him, and trying to get him into school, and not only just the free time that you would have, like it's not like you just go, okay, turn this off, I'm gonna go over here. Now he's freaking out, he's screaming, he's never done this before. But here I am with him at home. How am I selling homes, right? So during that time, and actually going into COVID, he was about to, the Wednesday that they shut down that Monday and said no more school, that Wednesday was going to be his first full day. We had been working him back all the way, and then hit that, and then boom, no school. So, you went that whole time, you go from here I am at home all the time because I have to have my son here because I can't take him anywhere right now. And then going to COVID, like the amount of work that I was doing, of course my production suffered. I mean, how could it not? Production went down, but I also had that revenue stream that kept me floating and kept me in a position to where I could continue to make money. And that right there has been worth every penny of me being in a company that allows me to generate that residual income and diversify myself. It's almost like having 200 of me around the country and in Canada. So, it is, even if it's something as small as making I say make a mortgage payment. I mean, just because that's what it's done. But even as small as making a car payment, or making a braces payment for your kid that you can't afford. I mean, could you imagine going each month and having that taken care of for you while you're selling home on top of you selling homes? And so that's that's pretty much why that's important for me, and how residual income has helped me and has given me the opportunity to provide, even when something like battling a 7-year-old battling anxiety and questioning myself as a father during the whole time, but also being able to provide for my family while going through something like that. So I know I got a little personal there, but that is what this thing means to me, and why I want to share it with as many people as possible, because I want to hear all those other stories. I want people to be put in position to be able to have that help them. What would a few $100s extra a month do for you? What about a few thousand? Like, you really think about that, and you go, man, this could be a game changer for our family. What we can do. Maybe it's get somebody back into school, or whatever it is. There's so many options to do it. So if that's something that it would help you, then I would definitely consider continuing on with the book and looking into what we're trying to do here over at the Semi-Retired Real Estate Agent. But we are heading into chapter 15, which is Pay It Forward, and we'll get that one coming up next.